We begin tonight with that breaking news out of Iran. It is being called a victory for U.S. diplomacy, but it is the families who are celebrating most. 5 Americans are free tonight after a prisoner swap. Combined, they spent more than 9 years in captivity. The most high-profile Washington Post bureau chief Jason Razaian convicted of espionage after a secret trial. And then this late today, international inspectors confirming Iran had dismantled significant parts of its nuclear program, allowing that historic international agreement to move forward, a deal years in the making. ABC's senior White House correspondent Jonathan Karl starts us off tonight with this stunning turn of events.
The release of the American prisoners comes just as the nuclear deal with Iran goes into effect, lifting sanctions and making tens of billions of dollars available to the Iranian government. 3 of the Americans released had been held prisoner for longer than the Americans taken hostage in Iran in 1979. Former U.S. Marine Amir Hekmati held for more than 4 years after an arrest on spying charges while visiting his grandmother in Tehran. Washington Post bureau chief Jason Razaian held for a year and a half after a closed trial and conviction on espionage charges. Pastor Saeed Abedini imprisoned since July for organizing home churches in Iran. All 3 spent time in Iran's notorious Evin prison, where they were allegedly subject to beatings, solitary confinement, and psychological abuse. 2 other Americans were also released, including a student who was arrested just 40 days ago. Last summer, President Obama angrily dismissed suggestions that he was not working hard enough to get the prisoners released.
The notion that I'm content as I celebrate with American citizens languishing in Iranian jails, that's nonsense.
Not included in today's prisoner swap, FBI agent Robert Levinson, who disappeared during a 2007 visit to Iran. His whereabouts tonight are unknown. In exchange for the release of the Americans, the U.S. dropped charges against 7 Iranians, along with international arrest warrants issued by the U.S. against 14 others. It's the 3rd time the Obama administration has made exchanges to free Americans held abroad, including Sergeant Bo Bergdahl, freed in exchange for 5 Taliban prisoners, and Alan Gross, freed from a Cuban prison in exchange for 3 Cubans held in the U.S.
And John joins us now. So, John, this prisoner release comes on the same day that the nuclear deal was reached. A lot of eyebrows being raised on the timing of this. Are they really not connected?
Well, the administration says absolutely not. Look, this comes just as the sanctions go down, just as Iran gets access to tens of billions of dollars in frozen assets. But the administration says no connection between the two deals. But they do say that the diplomacy on the nuclear deal helped pave the way for the diplomacy on this deal.
A long time coming, John. Good to have you with us here in New York tonight. Thank you. And we are learning more about what's next for those 5 freed Americans. How will they get home, and how soon? ABC's Jennifer Eccleston has this part of the developing story. Jennifer.
Good evening, Cecilia. The Americans are about to leave Iran. ABC News has learned that they will fly on a Swiss plane, stopping in Geneva before heading to an American base in Germany and then to a medical facility where they will first be evaluated, then begin the reintegration process. American officials will talk to them about their years in captivity. We believe that Jason Razaian will be joined on the plane by his wife, an Iranian journalist who has waited 18 months for his freedom. And we also understand the State Department will help the other families to join their loved ones in Germany as they make this transition. Cecilia?
Jennifer, thank you.